I've just spent a bit of time with ChatGPT because we're just registering this podcast, the trademarks for it. And of course, it's something that has to be done right. And I don't want to like over bloat with it. And I was just doing some research on that because there's been some recent legislation and ruling by the Supreme Court. Anyway, it's not that interesting. But whatever, the main point is you can't just now like bloat over your trademark application with a ton of stuff in it. That's actually not really that relevant to what you plan on ever doing. So being really careful about the selection of the terms and making sure it's going to fit for the podcast for the next 3 to 4 5 years. So yeah, that's the UK one done. Application is submitted. This is the 5th of June, 12:31. And yeah, that is it. That's going to go through the process of being reviewed by the examiner. It should be fine because I've just used their standard terms. I've not put in any custom terms, which you can do if you want. So I've just used their standard terms that have been approved before, and then it's going to go through a 2-month process, basically an objection process where people can say, no, that's infringing my trademark. Don't envisage that. The next one we're going to do is the United States. However, I can't file that myself. If you're a US citizen, I believe you can. But if you are not a US citizen, then you have to get a US attorney to do it for you. So that's going to be the next one that can be filing that. I've still got a lot more to do. I need to take some photos of this ugly mug. Can you believe it? I need to get a new podcast cover, new logo design, everything done, and start working on the first few episodes really, because that's one of the things that I'm not there yet with. I need to work on those episodes. I know what the themes are going to be. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, but they are coming. I know what they are. And work on those. I need to also find some help. I need to get someone to help with the podcast channel, recording, organizing things, speaking to people that all want to be speaking to on the podcast or whatever. So yeah, I need help. But that's one thing, one tick done. And for those asking, why trademark now? Well, I just think if you're going to do something, if you plan on doing something for the long term and you're going to be relying on a particular brand name, you want to protect your brand. And so what the podcast is going to be named, did I show you on it? I didn't, thankfully. But it's not for public consumption yet until I've at least filed the US trademark. Basically, it's something where if you want to protect that brand and you want to protect the podcast name for the future and you don't have a load of knockoffs trying to run off your name, then you need to do it, because otherwise you might have some legal protections, but it's a lot more challenging, I believe. But the trademark, licensed trademark, is just going to make it a lot easier for you to do, basically. Whatever. I'm not an attorney. If you need to go and speak to an attorney, speak to an attorney. A lawyer, solicitor, whatever you want to call them, where you're from. Yeah, so I'll let you know how that goes with this. It's going to be a couple of months at least before you actually see this. So yeah, fingers crossed, all goes well and not going to get any objections. Anyway, bye. And it's me again. For those of you who are going to ask about, well, how do I do this? If you're comfortable doing it yourself, then I'd suggest do it yourself. For the UK, if you're a UK citizen, I don't really know the rules if you're not a UK citizen about filing in the UK. You can find out yourself. Whatever it costs for a single mark, it costs for a single class, and there's lots of different classes. The classes are basically like if you categorize different types of things. This one is 41. It's more about entertainment and educational services, and it includes things like podcasts and YouTube videos. For a single class, it's £170 at the time of recording if you pay at the time of submission, and it's £50 for each additional class that you want to add. I've only added one class because that's all that's relevant for this podcast at the moment, or what I'm envisaging using it for in the future. And you can select from predefined sort of words. If you're not that comfortable doing it yourself, I'd suggest I've used the company that I use to file my US trademarks is called TurboTM. Yeah. So this website is the one that I've used before to set up my US trademarks. And you can see here, like £460 is what they do it in, or you can just do it in dollars, US dollars, $590, $480 for the UK if you want them to do it for you. And they can do everywhere else for you as well. Anyway, this is not an ad. It's just that's who I use myself. And for the UK trademarks, as I said, I've done it before myself. I've got them through, got them registered, and I've actually had one that I own that I've challenged someone else before on. I've got lawyers to do a challenge on them because they tried to use a brand name, and we were successful in the challenge. You didn't even have to go like as far as court, because their lawyers basically told them, yeah, you're in the wrong and just need to change what you're doing. So basically, I'm not saying that you should get legal advice or whatever, particularly if you're not comfortable in business, but whatever. I just want to let you know the price of it, £170. Anyway, bye.